What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway here with Christian Olson.
Hello.
And Liv Skofteland.
Close.
Christian yelled into the microphone. You literally broke the roadcaster.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, we're finally started the podcast after
He's very angry.
fucking
25 minutes.
Yeah, goofing for
calm
25
down.
minutes.
Calm down. Calm down. Anyway, so today I want to talk a little bit with these guys about how to dig deeper when you encounter a wall. Like in your business, in your life, in your professionalism, just how to dig deeper.
Right.
So, Christian, take it away.
I think a lot of it comes back to accountability and I guess some of the resources that you have and like looking at everyone as a team, right? Whether we relate that to your agent, your client, your lender, and whatever, or if like come back to our team here, right? Like John putting that video this morning on time.
Hell yeah.
Hyped me the fuck up. Like
Yo.
I was
You knew he was
so
gonna do
excited.
it.
Yeah, I was so excited. I got on the bike. I watched his video, watched another motivational video, and then like encountering a wall. Like I apply this now to like everything in my life. Like what if I went that one extra step, that one extra mile, that one extra spin on the bike, or lifted it the weights one more time? But the wall, I think, is more like mentally, and it really doesn't exist.
All right, so let's take a step back real quick. Our team a couple weeks ago came back from Summit. We had a lot of things that we took away from it, but one of the things we talked about was we were going to do monthly, right? Like on
It's the third week of every month.
Of the month.
So yeah, I guess
everyone's
monthly.
going to post their day. So I had like a week ago or something like that. I don't remember. And I posted my motivational video, and then today was John's.
Today was John's day. Yeah.
It comes in. Anyway.
Hyped me up.
Hyped.
Hyped me up.
7 a.m. No late, but whatever.
Putting things into perspective, really about like what matters, what doesn't. Does something really have some sort of effect on you? And then can you even change that outcome? Could you have done something better? A lot of it is like a learning experience. So this wall, could you have done something to either just face it head on or like to prepare for it next time? Like how can you go about that?
Well, and something we talked about today in the podcast, we talked about the log in the road. My mom used to say this thing that she has 3 kids, and each one of her kids would handle a log in the road differently. So you're driving around a bend, and there's a tree that fell down, and how do you handle it? One of her kids would get out, pace back and forth until somebody comes along, bitch, moan, and yell, and then eventually figure out a way around it and to continue on their day. One of us would get out, climb over it, walk to a gas station, and figure out how to get to the next place. And one of us would like chop it up and tiny little pieces, move it off to the side of the road, and keep driving. I think the biggest takeaway for me as we're talking about how to encounter a wall is understanding how you encounter that log in the road.
Right.
Right? Because I don't really need to be that fucking crazy ass dude right there. Right? Like David Goggins is fucking
This
psycho.
book is the shit.
I mean,
love
I'm not
this book.
denying
This
it.
is like it. Yeah, this is like my Bible right now.
I'm not denying that. What I'm saying is like Goggins is a crazy person and he hypes me up, but also at the same time, like he's a little bit of a crazy person.
No, okay, but he does crazy shit in terms of like physical activity, maybe even like other professional stuff that he might do, right? Like he goes on 100-mile runs for 24 hours, has done SEAL training. I'm on the part where he's doing it a third time, right? But what you probably do shit in this book, but not in the physical way, but in a real estate way. You sit in that prospecting room for hours, just like, hey, what's going on? It's Mike Frank with Berkshire Hathaway. Are you looking to buy a home?
very
And you're
true.
doing it for hours and hours, right?
Yeah.
Like, just because he's doing it like physically and like, whether it's running again 100 miles or whatever it may be, going to budge training 3 times,
Yeah.
right, and accomplishing these things, we all do it in a different way.
But that's what I'm saying is like I think that we have to acknowledge our way.
We have our own crazy,
And
our own
so
animal.
like you have your own crazy, like all these sayings that
Yeah.
come up in the world. But I think like even today, Andrea's not having such a powerful morning. And it's like, hey, maybe that's her way to come into the work week.
There's something I came across. Was it today? Maybe it was yesterday. I've been watching motivational videos like it's my job. I forget who was speaking, but they said there's someone that is in the grave right now that could, like, if they could, they would do anything to be in your shoes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it doesn't mean like whether your life's going great, whether it's going poorly, those people that, maybe didn't take advantage of the situation that they're in or looking at everything as an opportunity, they would do anything to be in your shoes. Now, like if Andrea's having a bad day or if I'm having a bad day or if Kevin's feeling like in the dumps, right? Like there's someone out there that would love to be in your shoes. And if you don't make the best of your situation, again, someone else is going to come and take that success, get over that hurdle, or go through that wall that you're now facing.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the way that plays in is like, if you don't acknowledge that these are my shoes, this is my bad day, but like, this is normal. This is okay. I'm happy here. Right. I can only go up. And I think most people, what ends up happening is they get into a slump, and then they allow that slump to impact their next action.
Yeah.
So I went to the gym. I had dental surgery. I haven't been back to the gym. I wanted to go this morning. I was upset that I had a 7 a.m. call that I had to be on, that I couldn't get to the gym. Could I have gone earlier? Of course, I can always talk about that, whatever. But now I understand that like the dentist kind of threw off my rhythm. My call this morning threw off my rhythm. Now I'm going to the gym tomorrow. And I might even go twice if my calendar can accommodate it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, that's my wall. And that's how I'm going to handle it. But if I told Liv to go to the gym twice in a day, I think you'd like fucking laugh.
But it's
I used to go twice in a day.
No. But what I'm saying is like, if I try to tell you like this, like if you told me to go to the gym 3 times a day, I'd be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because this is not I'm not you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing in today's world is like people want to be that social media, superhero.
Yeah.
Right?
The perfect life, and you do everything, and everything's perfect all the time.
Right. Shout out to Courtney Garcia with Tom Ferry. Courtney posted, be happy with your life, not your social media life. And I was like, damn.
That's powerful.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially from like the social media girl.
Yeah.
Like that's
no,
crazy.
because it's true. Like you do need to be happy with your real life too.
Yeah. There's something that David Goggins mentions, like we do all this work, we get on this high, and then one bad thing happens, and then we get into that slump, right? Like just because you went to the gym 3 days in a row, just because you did whatever. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just waiting for fucking coffee shit to come up.
Coffee?
Oh, somebody put soap in my coffee.
No. But just because you did something for 3 days in a row, or things are going great and something bad happens, right? Like just because you hold yourself accountable for this short amount of time doesn't mean you're going to get that instant success. And then it leads into another quote that I heard by Will Smith. I think it was Will Smith, but it's like skill and all the success comes from thousands of hours of just mastering your craft, doing whatever it is. If it's David Goggins running 100 miles, if it's us prospecting for 3 hours, if it's trying to get everything that's on our vision board or accomplish all these goals, it's only going to come from thousands and thousands of hours of putting in the time and the hard work.
It's funny that you say that because John will often make comments about like, Mike, just do this, you'll be fine. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. I understand that I'll be fine. But I fear that like Kevin, for example, who doesn't see I'll be fine, doesn't understand the thousands and thousands and thousands of hours that come before I'll be fine.
Right.
Like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking anybody. Like I think that everyone on our team has the capacity to do great things. But if you want to look for the outcome before you look for the skill, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody. So as you guys know, right? Shout out to Liv. She always writes our scripts here, and today was like an open-ended conversation. So it was like the different walls that we might encounter in our industry. And honestly, like we talk about inspections and negotiations and things like that all the time. And I think I can summarize all of this stuff up. So, seller negotiations, home inspection issues, financial issues, title issues, commission negotiations, winning over a more experienced agent, clients wanting to take a break, family members of their clients, and your own family not supporting your real estate career. Ooh, yikes. I might come back to that one. But all of the other ones, I think that it really comes back to this.
I don't even know why.
That was attractive.
Yeah, I don't even know why I thought that was...
That was a Christian snort, in case anybody's wondering.
I'm dead. I don't...
Yeah.
But all of these things, I think I can summarize by saying, like, agents create problems. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to knock any one agent, but there's an agent that we're working with right now that is opening up a door to problems that as soon as I get involved in the conversation, that door shuts. But the agent opens up the door, and it might be, let's just use clients wanting to take a break from their search. So here's a real situation that happens all the time. There's nothing in the market. I'm never going to find anything. I don't think I should even look for a house. I should just renew my lease, and then I don't know. And agents come to me, and they're like, my clients want to take a break from the market. And I go, let them. And then they go, but Mike, you don't understand. And I go, Yeah, I do. Liv understands. You know how I know? Because she wrote the script and that's on her list. You know what I mean? Like, it's basic. Yeah. I understand. Let them. But it's different. Okay, sure. Tell me how it's different. But it's the mom and the cousin and the rent and the monthly payment, and they're never going to qualify for a loan after he starts his new job and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I hear you. Now it's different. I get it. You want to hear my answer? Let them take a break. What if you just said to your clients, I understand. It's difficult. Go back to Bun.
Yeah.
How much did we argue about that transaction? Let him take a break and just call him and just say, hey, man, how are things going?
Yeah.
It's not a real estate call. It's not a chase down your lead call. It's a, hey, this is my wall. This is who I am. I'm just going to keep making my prospecting calls. That's a skill.
We can bring this back to Tom Ferry. What was it? Pour love into your client or...
love on your client.
Yeah, love on your client. But there was something before that.
I do remember this quote. It was something
instead of like... It was like this one thing, and then instead of doing that, you love on your client and like just keep...
Yeah, probably something like dripping on leads or something like that.
Yeah,
like instead of doing that.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, so we have our home equity review mailer, which is going to become a huge thing. Honestly, it's impactful the way that we're presenting it, so much so that I have agents calling me from all around the country trying to get this home equity review mailer. We made a video last week. I sent out a step-by-step email. I got so much content back and forth. We're having a podcast this week talking about this fucking mailer. What is it? Why do you want it? If you're watching, you should ask for one. Ask your real estate agent to call us and we'll help them make you one. A home equity review mailer is something that's giving you value and not asking you to transact. Like, what if you just hit this wall that said, my clients want to take a break from their search? And you're like, awesome. Do you think you guys can have Thanksgiving together? Because Thanksgiving's coming up in a couple months. And they're going to be like, no, they want to be with their family. And I'm like, just offer them to come to your house for Thanksgiving. You know why? Because they don't have a house.
Right.
Also, low key, like, that's a sales pitch. You know what I mean? Like, embrace their fucking taking a break. And then maybe you'll get over your own fucking wall. Another good one would be like a seller negotiation. How do you handle the seller negotiation, Joe Wilson?
That's a good question.
Just education.
Yeah.
Is that how you got over that?
I think so. Like, I mean, we just like
15 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But going back to whatever one we were just on, clients wanting to take a break from their search, is there even a wall there for us as an agent? What if you went and called other people, so then now you're worried, oh, you don't understand, like, we got to get this person to close. Just go call another client, like, and get another buyer, get another seller. That one client, whether they want to transact with you or whoever, maybe that fight that you're putting up against them, like, love on your client, educate them. But at the end of the day, if they don't want to buy with you, go find somebody else.
I have a full-time job
of making phone calls and prospecting leads.
Yes.
Like, heaven forbid you did what you're supposed to do, and then you don't have to worry about each little individual thing.
Right.
But like, when it comes to seller negotiations, when it comes to home inspection issues, when it comes to financial issues, or the family members giving a client bad advice, like all of these things that are here on the list, it's all the same. Just have sympathy for your clients, work through it with them, and figure out your way to climb over the log. Like, figure out your way to take the next step. And if your way to take the next step is to beat your clients up and tell them to respectfully listen to your advice, there are agents that do that. Like, dude, there are agents that I know that will literally say, this is the best house for you. You guys need to put in an offer, $660. I won't do that. That's not me.
Yeah.
Does it make me wrong and them right? No. Does it make them wrong and me right? No. But understanding that that's your wall. So when somebody's not receptive to that kind of conversation, just have sympathy for them.
Yeah.
And understand that, like, that's who they are. That's what they want. So we get into a negotiation. This is my favorite one. So seller negotiation.
Yeah.
We come back to this place and we say, hey, the buyer wants to buy this house in XYZ way. The seller comes back and says, no, I want to sell it in this way. I don't even believe that the seller knows the difference between the two different ways that we're buying the house.
They have no idea.
No,
They
don't know.
no clue at all.
It's the agent.
So if you as an agent are doing your job and educating the seller, good job. Kudos to you, right? But if you as the agent are doing your job and educating the seller and not telling them why it's in their best interest to just continue to move forward with what the buyer suggested in the first place versus changing the approach to the conversation, I understand it. I just don't agree with it. You need to be the person that says to your seller, The buyers are asking for a wood destroying insect inspection. Here's why you wouldn't want one. Here's why you would want one. Let me tell you, I think that it should be the buyer's right. I think that the buyer deserves the world. I think the fact that the seller even has the opportunity to not make repairs for the buyer is such a fallacy in this industry. These people are spending the most money they've ever had. And I think the seller should do something to help them feel confident in it.
Yeah.
So the agent that's like, well, this other buyer doesn't want to have a wood destroying insect inspection. You're literally asking the buyer to give up something that could be the most important thing to them.
Yeah.
And your seller doesn't know the difference.
Right.
I'm not saying it's wrong, and I'm not saying no sellers are smart, because they are. But like Joe Wilson, for example. Joe, just take this one. Just take this one. Just take this one. Let me help you understand why. This one's better. I understand. You want to counter it. You want it to look like the other one that's for less money. Here's the thing. There's 20 grand difference between the two offers. What if we took 7 grand and made those two deals the same? You're still 13 grand positive.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that does make sense. Okay. Except, like, we don't have to go back and be like, well, our other offer is da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Just help the client do the deal.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the agent is the wall.
In that situation.
In all of them. Seller negotiations, home inspections. 9 times out of 10, financial issues. I mean, we've had a client that has had to walk away from the transaction. How much of the financial burden that client lost was on the seller versus the agent?
Are you talking our client was the buyer?
Correct.
I'm confused.
I'm also
M. Bunn
confused.
bought a house, had a family member die, had to terminate
yeah.
the contract, lost money because he had to terminate the contract. Right. How much of the money that he lost was due to the seller, and how much of the money that he lost was due to the agent?
It's the agent.
It could have been. The seller was a real jerk in this situation.
Oh, that's true. He was. Too.
Yeah.
I forgot about
That's
that.
that's why I'm still.
Probably both.
I don't know.
You're searching for an answer. I just want you to answer the question.
I don't know. Like, what
Just
do you
say both?
both?
Yeah.
Well, why? You know it's never going to be that easy.
Because the seller was sort of a jerk and was like, I want my money. But also the agent was a jerk and was like, no, like, we're not giving up the money, even though we probably should, because that's like logical.
Well, okay. I thought you were expecting something to come like from my end of things. And I was like, no, it was all on the seller side.
Right. We're not asking for
we're not
anything.
saying it's your
We're
fault.
asking for your opinion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then yes, the seller, the agent definitely had probably heavy influence on the seller himself.
Exactly.
And probably made everything much more stressful for everybody.
You know, I think that this podcast would be better if Christian would just answer the question.
Well, like,
just give your opinion.
I didn't know if you were talking about like
so
on
tense.
my end.
No one
How
said that.
to be less tense in real estate. Okay. A podcast with Christian Olson.
Yeah. You don't. You're just tense all the time.
I just tense all the time.
Positive.
Can't hurt me. I'm so fucking positive. But like, that's what I mean is like when you encounter that wall, you encounter that situation that's really, really shitty. I'm going to say more than 9 out of 10 times, like 95, 97 times out of 100. It's the agent that creates the problem. Yeah. And I know this to be true when we have a buyer that's outside of their right to terminate the contract. They ask the seller for an as-is inspection extension, and the seller grants them the extension with no responsibility to allow the buyer to terminate the contract. Because the seller wants the buyer to love where they live.
Right.
Yeah.
But when the agents get involved and it's like, well, technically you're outside of your responsibility. All right, fine. You know what? I'll pay the buyer. You go away and we'll terminate the contract anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that?
So who's tense now?
Yeah, I know, right?
Me. Always me.
And when we're on the seller side, do you think you guys create obstacles for agents?
I definitely think that I do in a different sense.
Yeah.
I want to hear this.
Yeah. In what sense?
God. All right. So the other day, an agent calls me and she says, "Hey, Mike, we want to know about this property. Does this?" We put together a cute little document, and the cute little document says, "Hey, the seller's estimated net is this, the estimated monthly costs of managing the expenses are this." So we're talking about lawn care or utilities or water or other expenses, right? And we put this out for the buyer to consider as they're making an offer. Well, it says utilities, and it said, let's just say $200 a month.
Sure.
And the agent says to me, does this include oil? Well, I don't know. But let me tell you what I would do. I would call BG&E, Baltimore Gas and Electric, and I would say, hey, my name is Sally Sue. I'm thinking about buying the property at 123 Banana Lane. I'd like to get an estimated monthly expenses.
I did that this morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, for one of my clients.
You're so good.
BGE told you what?
It was only $38 a month.
But they like break it down. They're like, oh, well, we can't tell you if somebody's living in the property, and we don't really know, but we can only tell you the last 12 months have been a total value of $360, so it's $30 a month.
Great, that's all I wanted.
And you're like, exactly, perfect. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Right?
Yeah, literally.
So I suggested this agent to call BG&E and do exactly that. And she's like, well, that doesn't tell me oil because BG&E doesn't do oil. And I went, yeah, I understand. But if it's $30 a month, it certainly tells you that the sellers are including the oil cost.
Right, exactly. Just do the fucking math.
If it's $110 a month, maybe the sellers are including the oil cost. If it's $165 a month, they're probably not including the oil cost.
You can pretty much figure that out on your own. Just do a little bit of the work.
And she goes, Mike, I understand that. I just didn't know if you had already had the conversation with the seller. Oh.
You think they're listening?
No, I didn't. If I did, I would have told you that at the beginning.
That would have been the first answer.
And that's why, because it's the same problem that we have on our team, which is people come to me with a simple question and they just want a yes or a no. And it's just so easy, Mike. You don't understand. And I go, I do understand, Kevin. The buyers want to take a break. And I get it. Let them take a break.
Just go find another one.
Yeah,
go find another one.
Go find another one.
Right? Prospect. Like, I do understand, agent. I understand what you're asking. I'm trying to help you. But you don't want my help. You just want me to answer your questions. And I think for that reason, I make the conversation difficult.
Yeah. And what, like, when you were first starting out in real estate, though, do you think that would have been easy for you to understand? Like, okay, just let them take a break. Just go make another phone call. Like, or would you also have been like, no, but you don't understand. I have to have this buyer get under contract because I need money. You know what I mean?
I definitely didn't do that. I understand the commission breath conversation where an agent's like, I need this, I need this, I need this.
Yeah, like I can't let them fail because they're my only clients and I need money.
I was super fortunate to have a mentor that I didn't even know that I had. Mm-hmm. And I walk into my manager's office and I go, oh, I have this offer that I'm going to be submitting tonight. And she goes, let me see it. And I was like, all right, fine, here. And she gives it to me. And if you're watching on video, like, this is really funny. So, like, pay attention. So, she does exactly this.
Mm-hmm. She threw it across the room.
Nope, you're missing something. And I go, what the fuck do you mean? How can you tell just by picking it up and flying it around in your hand? And she was like, no, you're missing something. And then she goes, and she goes, you're missing these 2 documents, and I think you're missing these 3 more. And I was like, do you have a checklist? Like, do you have something that you could give me that would show me what I'm missing?
Yeah.
And then she gave me a checklist, and then we built a system out of it, right? Like, the difference is, I think that a lot of people come into this industry, and they go, well, where do I get those?
Yeah.
Well, where did you get these?
Yeah.
And that's my question to you guys all the time. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, if you knew where to get these, how do you not know where to get those?
Yeah.
They're both forms. They come from the same place. We're not hiding them in magical mystery land. Like, so to me, getting over your wall is understanding, like, your way of approaching the conversation and then coming to the conversation with contribution. I did this, and this. I'm having this problem. How do I move forward?
Right.
And I think that's true of all of these things, like commission negotiations. The seller says to you, hey, I want to hire somebody for less money. What do you tell them?
Christian.
Yikes.
Good luck with Redfin.
Ouch, bro.
Can we beat that out?
But I like just educate them on how, like, the different types of agents out there and probably what they're going to get for their amount of money or their commission or what have you.
Sure.
Are they going to walk away with the most amount of money if they're only giving the selling agent a % of commission? Or like what's the real value? Like, what do we provide versus what do those type of agents provide? What do other people provide?
What you're saying is, like, how to handle the objection, which is a skill.
Yeah.
But also, maybe you take a different approach, right? Like the log in the road. How do you handle it? You just have to know how you handle it so then you can handle it.
Right.
Our most recent listing that we had signed, the seller said, so-and-so is willing to do it for less. And I said, I understand that. Here's what we do. Here's why we do it. And here's what's important to me. And we got into this conversation that became very philosophical and like where we donate and where we give back and how we contribute to the community and how we this and how we that. And I was like, look, no joke. I'm not really the person that's going to like host the community cleanup. That's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I know me. But here's what I do. And knowing what I do was my wall to get over. But if you want somebody that's going to be like A1 in their town, that's just not me. Like, I'm a grind, do the work, know the knowledge, put the skills to work, and then like turn off.
Yeah.
Because when I'm off, I want to be off. I want to go to the baseball game and just chill. I don't want to be the baseball game with like a your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man t-shirt. Like, that's not what I want.
Right.
Yeah. I want to like give a high five to the little kid that's running around with the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man t-shirt. Like, that's my like energy, but it's just not what I want. I don't want people to talk to me when I'm like not on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to support the community in my way, but I know how I'm going to say it. So like all of these things, you just have to know what you're going to say. Like, what are you going to do when there's a financial issue in the transaction?
Just got to put those 1,000
hours in. Are you going to freak out?
You'll know.
Are you going to freak out, soap man?
Yeah.
What was the one? This is the one that I wanted to come back to, and I wanted to hit this before we end. Liv, you wrote down your own family not supporting your real estate career, thinking you're a workaholic or etc.
Yeah.
Can you share more about that?
What, like why I wrote it on there? I just think that like in this industry, like that's a pretty common complaint amongst like family members of realtors, probably. I would say, because I mean, Christian, even you've said like your parents are like, what? Why are you working 24/7?
Well, that, but also like at first, getting into the real estate industry, it's like, oh, is it really going to work out for you? Like, how is this going to happen? Are you going to manage 2 jobs?
Is that a real job?
Estate? Or but also, hopefully they're coming from a place of like they want you to do good.
Yeah, they care about you.
Yeah, I know my parents are.
All family members just care about you.
If you're not having these questions yourself, like, are you going to make it in real estate? I think you're kind of crazy. Like, even when I bought my car, I was like, man, should I be doing this? Like,
right.
Like, is this smart?
The answer is no. For sure.
Right.
100%.
But like, if you're not having those questions with yourself, I think you're probably crazy. Like, you should be having those and like understanding the reality of what you're in. And I think, hopefully again, those people are coming from a good place in their heart.
Yeah.
And like my mom said, sorry to cut you off, but my mom said, you can't quit after 2 years. Because like, I guess in her mind, like I just went from job to job to job, because my mom is the person that went from like one job for fucking 9, 12, 15 years to another job for 29 years. Like, she went from 1 to 2 and there was nothing in the middle and there was no job beforehand. Like, my mom went from this job to that job. And in my line, I went from this restaurant as a host and a kitchen person, to that restaurant as a server and a busser, to that restaurant as a bartender, to that restaurant as a bartender and a manager, and to that restaurant as a manager. Like, it was this, that. And I guess in her mind, it was like quitting one to get to the other. When in my mind, it was moving, like up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it was telling, like when she said, oh, you can't quit after 2 years. And I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I mean, it's true. But like, your family members not supporting you. What about like people in the office? What about like, you're not selling enough. You're not doing enough.
Or like the people in the office that are like, we don't understand how like making TikToks is important.
I think that
you're like, what you guys do is stupid.
Or like, we just came back from a Tom Ferry conference. Like, how was it? Did you like rah? Yeah, we did actually.
Yeah, actually, and it was super fun.
It was super
fantastic.
Bye.
Bye.
But like, why do you want to sit in a dark room and like prospect for like 16 hours?
But Sean, pay attention. Why do you want to sit in a dark room and prospect for 16 hours?
And they think we're crazy, but like, whatever.
But I think like go with your gut. If people are like not supporting or whatever, surround yourself with people who do support you, because that's going to ultimately get you to where you want to be and help you reach your goals.
And I'm with you, and I agree with that. But I'll tell you, it's really hard for a lot of people to turn their back on their family.
Well, it's not necessarily doing that.
Well, no, but that's the way that it can come off, and that's the way people can feel. Right. And that's why I'm going to go back and say the same thing, which is understand your will. Like, understand your way to go. If your way to go is to dedicate time with your family, big shout out to Alicia, like old manager here. Yeah. Alicia never worked on Wednesday night. And she laughed that I know this. Like, I know this. And she hasn't been in our company for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Never worked on Wednesday night because she was with her father every Wednesday night. That was her day to be with him. F you guys, F your lives, F your business, F your everything. I don't care. From 6 to 9 on Wednesdays, I am not available. Mm-hmm. That's her way. So like, if you think that making TikToks is going to make you your way, know it. Know that that's my way. Like,
yeah,
right.
Just like own it.
You
Ask
decide
everybody
what's
else.
important
Be part of
and
it.
You
Right.
acknowledge what.
So like surrounding yourself by people that agree with you may be a good thought, but I find that it's really difficult because it leads you away from your way. Like it leads you to their way.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but what off? The hope of surrounding yourself by people who support you is that their way is technically the same way, like where you want to go, right? Like you're like, I want to follow in like your footsteps or whoever it may be. It could be anybody. Like if I want to do some wild shit like David Goggins, right? Like surround myself like people like him. Read his damn book, right? Like,
I'm saying empower yourself with those people.
Yeah.
Don't create yourself into that person.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're being fake to yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Be authentic to yourself.
I think the other thing that's really difficult, and there's an agent on our team that was suffering from this. I don't think that this is true anymore. But Allison's family, just quite frankly, like negativity towards her being an independent real estate agent. And it's nothing bad. Like honestly, I think the world of her mom and her fiance, soon to be husband, like kudos. But I think that it was just really hard for them to see, for the same reason my mom said to me, like, how do you not get paid every 2 weeks? Like, I need to get paid every 2 weeks. My mom lived in front of an accounting book. Like, that's just how she lived.
Yeah.
People just can't see it.
Yeah.
It's all of the best intention. And so what I said today on the podcast is like, your family might think that, or not on the podcast, on the To Be Frank show, your family might think that they're doing the best thing for you by telling you that now's a bad time to buy. They might be doing the best thing for you by telling you that the interest rates are overinflated and closing costs are expensive and no one's going to help you. And all of that might be true, and that's fine. But you have to know your way. So like when your family tells you that you're a crazy person, you say, I'm going to make time for you, but just Wednesday from 6 to 9 is my time for my dad. Saturday from 11 to 4 is my time for my kids. From 8 to 11, if you want to talk to me, I have more than welcome to talk then. And from 4 to 6, sure. But like, these are my ways.
Yeah.
And anybody that has a problem with it, fuck them. No offense to anybody.
Fuck
them.
Fuck.
I'm not allowed to curse in this office until I'm on the podcast. And then it's like,
I want to
get it all out now.
That is going to be the hardest thing for us if that's a real rule that's coming into play.
I can't hear anybody when I have these headphones on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah. I just think it's really important to understand that when you're going to start a business, there are two approaches to business in today's world. And one I love and one I hate.
What are they?
Well, number one has to be fuck them, right?
I think the first one is you get into this business, you get into any business, you sell flowers, you sell donuts, you sell whatever it might be, and you're just going to do 110% of you. And the second is going to be, I deserve this. And so my donuts are worth $5.50 because I deserve, because I went to culinary school or I went to this or I went to that and I deserve it. And I'm not saying you don't. All I'm saying is that's a difficult business to have longevity because people don't, they like that, but they don't want that. What they want is they want you. They want your fingers to go in the dough. They want your head in the game. They want your impact in the restaurant. I mean, one of the best restaurants in Reisterstown, I don't know what anybody else thinks, is Sunny Lee's. It's American Chinese food. The dude will tell you that it's authentic Chinese food, but I don't know. It's American Chinese food to me. But Sonny will come out and talk to every single table. He will be there on the busiest nights. He will be there on the slowest days. He is there all the time. And he's always trying to make it special. It doesn't matter where he came from. I don't care if he's from Baltimore City or if he's from the center of this province of the middle of some country. Like, it doesn't matter to me. He cares about me. Then I care about him. I don't care about the business in between.
Right.
Yeah.
If you provide a great service and you come to the table every day with this is my why, this is my way, this is what I do, then when you have that day that throws you off and you're at a wall, you're in front of the log, you have that buyer that wants to take a break or whatever that might be, you just say, F it, I'm going to move on and go find another buyer.
Yeah.
That's the mindset.
It's just, I don't know. It's just my personal opinion.
I feel like that's your mindset too, Christian.
Yeah. Honestly, now, like, it's definitely like a learning experience because when I first got into real estate, definitely was not like that.
Yeah.
How much is your coffee?
Like how much did it cost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $4 or $5
For a plain coffee.
Yeah, what even is it?
It's just
For a plain coffee.
yes,
$4.
probably
Medium coffee.
$4 for iced
For like
coffee.
regular brewed coffee.
cold brew.
Yeah, but
All right. At least it's
that
cold
seems
brew.
like
At
a
least it's
lot.
something like special.
Yeah.
It's not that special.
Well, but I mean, like, at
still
least it's
just
not hot
coffee.
coffee, you know? All right,
That
so
would've
it's
been
cold brew,
$3.
no sugar, no nothing, no spice, no everything nice.
Right.
And you paid $5.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make it yourself?
I don't know how to make cold brew.
You don't know how to make it's actually really easy.
I mean, I was actually thinking about it on the way up here.
But
Like, if I could get
why
into
didn't
that.
you make it
I
yourself?
actually do it. It's really easy.
Why did you not make it yourself?
It's not in my calendar.
It's not on my calendar. I don't know how. I need someone to help me accomplish that task.
I could do it if I really cared about making my own coffee.
Totally agree. And here's how I feel. I know where Rise is. I would go there in a heartbeat. They always have a line. It annoys the shit out of me.
I ordered
I don't
online.
care how
Ayo.
expensive.
I got around it. I got around the damn wall.
Hell
But-
yeah.
and maybe I need to do that. But like for me, it's not important enough to me. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's the most Instagram blah 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 thing in Annapolis. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I want to get the value out of what I want to put value into. I don't want to wait in line. I don't want to drive over there. I just want plain black French press coffee. I'm super fucking easy. I make it myself and I'm done.
There you go.
But does that mean that you're wrong?
No.
Right. And so don't change who you are
No, I know.
because of my wall.
I get that.
That's
But it's the
what I wanna
acknowledgement
take
that
away from
everyone
this.
should have about what brings value to them.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I like it.
I concur. Dun 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 dun. At any rate,
All right.
so what I think I would want to take away as a team, as people, as clients is like everybody has their own wall, and like just know your way to get through it. If you think that you're my brother that couldn't get over the fucking wall, bitched and moaned and paced back and forth, but then figured out a way when someone else came and told him how to do it. If you think that you're my brother that fucking climbed over the fucking log to walk to the nearest gas station, or you think that you're the brother that fucking cuts the tree up into a million pieces and moves it off the fucking road, that's just who you the fuck are. And do that.
Yeah. Do we think that Mike is the chainsaw one?
what do you mean the chainsaw
The
one?
chainsaw brother, the one that cut the log up.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know if you were actually giving stories about your...
That's
No,
an
yeah,
actual
that's a real
story
story.
from my mom. She said it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the
And
thing
then
is that like
Ben's the one that climbs over.
yeah,
right?
Ben's the one that climbs
Yeah.
over and like figures out a way. My older brother is the one that like bitches and moans and yells and screams. And the funny thing is that if anybody's watching, like my brother's the fucking smartest one of all of us.
Yeah,
but
that one
far
is
and
the
away.
smartest
Is that
one.
the one that
far and
bitches and
away.
screams?
Yeah,
Oh,
is
yeah.
the smartest one.
Oh yeah. But the thing is that like if you know that this is my way to approach the wall, then you just go, okay, bitch, and go. Because if that's your way, 30-second pity party, 5-minute pity party,
Yeah,
whatever it is,
that's Christian.
and you move the fuck on.
That's Christian's way.
I tried to like not have a pity party anymore. I
God,
just
I
like,
hate the seller. Okay, I'm positive.
I just
Positive vibes.
just yeah. 5 minutes is way too long. I think now I'm more
How about
like
5 seconds?
Yeah, I'm like more leaning to that now. Just accept it and then move on.
Yeah, like if I
think
could
that's me.
if I could be frustrated and like just vibe out, maybe somebody brings me like a puppuccino from Starbucks, like I'm good. You know,
So
like
just
eat
whipped
those.
cream.
no, like I'm making fun of you.
I don't get it.
Like you stress and then you're like, okay, I'm over it. But like something positive has to come in your life and you're like over it. Anyway,
very true.
I
doesn't
don't think
really
so.
matter.
None-
It does. Anyway, all right. So a big shout out to Christian for reading the David Goggins book. If
Have
you
you
guys
finished
don't
it?
know,
No, it's so good. So like you dive into this book and like there's challenges after each chapter to like push yourself through whatever like social or like personal insecurities or like what you want to earn in life. And then there's like I have sticky notes on my phone, on my mirror, and like even when I'm at the gym, like I like look in the mirror and it's like an accountability mirror that follows you everywhere around. So no matter what mirror you're looking into, you're just constantly like working on the shit that you want to work on.
and this is
That's
like his
cool.
approach to fuck your mood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, but like master your mind because half the walls that we create are just made up shit in our mind.
Yeah.
Right. So the other half of them are made up by real estate agents that want to make your fucking life difficult.
So true.
At any rate,
And
all right,
mic
guys. Mic drop. We got to run. I can catch you guys on Instagram at MichaelFrank ____, on TikTok at Frank Oliver & Co. You can hit me up on our website at frankoliverco.com. Christian?
Christian the Deadhead on Instagram. TikTok is the Deadhead Realtor. And give me a call, 443-975-8626.
Anyway, and Liv, how are we getting in touch with you?
The link is in the description.
Yikes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for getting with us today, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Later.